y'all, come look at this.
I like this. This is cute.
What's up, Bucket Hat crew? My name's JMT, and welcome to a Killer's Night update video. We haven't had one of these in the longest time. Killer's Night has been going over a lot of changes in their beta towards the killers in the game, which have just been released in update 1.1. So let's go ahead and look at every single change made to every single killer, and even some freebies, cosmetics, other changes, and Misc changes. There's a bunch of stuff to go over inside of this update, and then we also are going to talk about the future for this game as well at the end of the video. So stay tuned for that, guys. And let's hop right into it. So let's start off with the killer changes that have been made inside of this update. For the Wraith, we have a new Haunt ability. This summons a spectral skull that chases nearby survivors and even through the walls as well. When it gets close enough to a survivor, it causes them to scream. So the Haunt ability, basically the Wraith will summon a skull that you do not control, by the way. It will just chase a survivor and it will go through a wall as well. And basically when the skull ends up hitting the survivor, it will make them scream. It technically lets you know where a survivor is when you're chasing them, or even just helping you find out where a survivor is as well. Because you could just be not even following a survivor and you could summon the skull and it will chase a survivor nearby, and then therefore when they scream it'll let you know where that survivor is. So this is a good ability for the Wraith. I'm glad that this is going to be like a whole change to all the killer abilities, because it's been something that I've been wanting to see for a while, and I'm glad that's finally released. But I think this is going to be a good ability for the Wraith. For the Wendigo, they have a reworked Bloodlust ability. So now you gain a stack of Bloodlust every time you hit a survivor, and you can get it up to 4. And then when you consume a stack of these Bloodlusts, you gain a short but large speed boost. So after you hit survivors for a certain amount of time, once you build that up, you can consume the stack, and then you get like a short, large speed boost that just sends you flying at someone. Basically, the Wendigo is going to be like a good push killer. If you really want to go ahead and actually inflict a lot of damage and then keep chasing people as well, I think that's what the Wendigo is going to be best known for. It's going to be good for pushing for sure. So I think you gain Bloodlust after you hit a survivor, and then you can consume that Bloodlust after that hit to do this large speed boost. I don't think you have to do it once you reach up to 4. I think you can like consume stacks eventually whenever you want, and it can go up to 4 times. So I think that's how it works. After you do hit someone, then you can use a Bloodlust. You can consume a Bloodlust to get that short, large speed boost, and then you can just do it up to 4 times. I think that's how this ability is going to work, which is why I'm going to be assuming that the Wendigo is kind of being pushed towards a push type of killer. For the Maniac, they have a reworked stalk ability. So now the Maniac is the only killer with the stalk. So now you can become completely invisible. However, the power can only be toggled while not within line of sight of survivors. So this is kind of like Left 4 Dead 2, if you guys have ever played that. I think it's in Left 4 Dead as well. I don't know. I've only played Left 4 Dead 2, but if you do spawn as a zombie, you can't actually spawn in as the zombie until you are out of sight of a survivor. So basically you can't just like spawn on top of someone. So that's how this is going to work out, because if that were the case, that would be insanely OP. But now you can only become invisible if you don't have a survivor looking at you, is what that means. And while you're in that stalk ability, you can't attack or break doors when you're invisible. And then like what I just said, they have a little description there: hide behind objects or make sure you are behind any nearby survivors to toggle. But technically you just become invisible now. For the Plague, the bomb radius has been increased, and survivors afflicted with the Plague Bomb will be slightly slowed. Increase the distance at which Plague can detect afflicted survivors, and a new particle effect. What the heck? We got a bunch of stuff with the Plague here. So basically they didn't change any reworks or do anything with the ability itself. They kind of kept it, but they did increase it. They gave it a little buff. The Plague Bomb radius has been increased. It will activate at a more bigger radius than what it did before, and then survivors who get afflicted with this Plague Bomb will be slowed as well, along with the coughing, and actually letting you know where they are on the map if they do interact with this Plague Bomb, that is, if they do get afflicted with it. And they also increase the distance at which Plague can detect the afflicted survivors. So again, like the little pings that we said before, so now this will be increased, because if they did get pinged at a long distance away, it won't actually show you on the screen that your bomb has been activated. But if you were close enough in that little radius or that little proximity, then it would show a ping that a survivor has been afflicted with a Plague Bomb. And then they got a new particle effect, so take a look at this. Very cool, very cool. So the Plague now, nothing new really with the ability itself, but they did a bunch of buffs to it, so it should make it a better killer to go ahead and actually use and dominate inside the game. For the Butcher, we have a little change here. They slightly increase the hitbox for the hook, and then otherwise no major changes. I'm glad that they increased the hitbox for this thing, because if you were playing as the Butcher before, I mean, the cursor had to like exactly be on a survivor, even if they were moving. You had to predict pretty much where they were going to move for the hook to actually hook someone and pull them in, you know, Scorpion style. Get over here! It is a small change, but to me, this is a big change. Even though it's just one thing that they fixed, it really is a big change for the Butcher, so that's awesome. And then for all the killers, they're going to be testing a new hit detection system, and then Falstaff says, let me know your thoughts. So if you guys want to join the Goob Studio Discord, I will leave it in the description down below. You guys can go ahead and join the Discord there, and let Falstaff know your thoughts. If you do have any other suggestions for the game as well, or just chatting with other people who play Killer's Night. And then you won't be slowed until after a weapon swing is finished, instead of being slowed immediately after clicking. I did notice this. I didn't really think of it too much, and I think it was a fix that was going to just happen. When you were playing as a killer before and you went to hit someone, you'd be slowed like on click intact. But now after the swing is finished, that's when you become slowed. And basically this helps actually like hitting the survivor without missing, which happens quite a bit inside of this game, but that should be a little bit fixed now due to this. So that's pretty much all the killer changes inside the game, everything that had to do with reworked abilities, and even just making some buff changes as well to some of these killers. Let's go ahead and move on to some of the Misc changes and even some of the freebies and cosmetics that you guys can get inside of this update. So for some of the Misc changes here, we have closing a door will stun the killer for 4.5 seconds and break the door at an 8 stud radius. You can open and close doors inside of a game normally, but if a killer is chasing you and you decide to shut the door on them, it will stun them for 4.5 seconds, but then the door will break on impact as well, so it's kind of like you're slamming the door into him. It does break the door, which kind of sucks. It kind of takes looping out of the equation, but it's like you don't want to keep doing that over and over because you can open and close doors pretty easily inside of this game. So now that it breaks on impact, it'll have to let you go into another rotation, so this actually helps out the killer a little bit. And vaulting now uses 15% of your stamina instead of 10. Again, trying to take out that whole looping equation, because looping inside this game was huge. Survivors were definitely like the favorited thing inside of this game towards actually winning a game, but I think killers are going to have the upper hand now with these Misc changes actually helping them benefit inside of the game. Let's go ahead and look at the cosmetics and the freebies here. For the Myers, we have a Maniac costume now. And then we also have pirate costumes for Jackson, Sophia, Marcus, Emily, and Rex. If we hop into the freebies, you can use the code Yarr for a free Pirate Jackson and Emily costume, and this is only valid until December 5th, so this is going to be a limited time thing. And then also, you can use code Disturbing for a truly disturbing Butcher hidden costume. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. So now that we kind of went over some of the Misc changes and the freebies and all the cosmetics inside the game, let's talk about the future of Killer's Night. This is what the devs had to say. Over the course of 2022, we expect to add a ton of exciting features. Here is a glimpse of what we have planned. We have perks for survivors and killers, items that you can bring into matches, active spectate mode, new killers and maps, daily challenges, and rewards. Holy Lord, over the whole course of 2022, Killer's Night is going to have a bunch of changes that is definitely going to be a whole game changer. Literally, no pun intended. So now survivors are actually going to be like, you got to choose one to use specific perks now, because right now inside the game, they don't have anything for survivors. It's just you can pick one and level it up if you really want to. That's how it's kind of working right now. But they don't got anything for survivors as of right now, but looks like they're going to be getting perks for not just the survivors though, for the killers as well. So now killers are going to have perks, and it'll be very interesting to see what perks are actually going to be brought onto what survivor and killer. And now we have items that you can bring into matches. So at the start of the round, or even before the round starts, you can choose what to bring into a match to actually help you benefit in actually completing the round at a more successful rate, or helping you do other tasks or specific things inside the game. It's pretty much going to be gear, and it's going to be awesome. I'm glad to see that they're adding that into Killer's Night. But anyways, guys, that was all the killer changes, all the cosmetics and future things inside the game. Hop on over to the update right now. Still in beta mode though for Killer's Night. Test out some of these killer reworks and let me know what you guys think down below. Anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for me. My name's GMT, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out, guys.